Hey guys, what's up, sci-fi here, and welcome to episode 2 of Warframe Beginner's Guide 2.0, and in this video we're going to be looking at how to level up quicker at the beginning of the game, as well as get some mods that can actually help us survive throughout the game pretty much. These mods will help us pretty much build our Warframes and make them stronger, and we can use them at like the very end level of the game, so end content or end game content, whatever you want to call it. Pretty much things like that there. So we're going to be getting mods that we're going to use throughout the whole period of whenever we're playing Warframe pretty much in this video. It isn't the best way to get the mod, I will note that down now, but if you're lucky you will get the mod pretty damn early, so it's really good. So yeah, after you complete the Vor's Prize quest, you will actually have unlocked everything in the ship. So we've got our codex, we've got our market, we've got our foundry down here, and our mod section, and our arsenal finally. What we're actually going to be doing in this video is taking a look at what the arsenal and all this other good stuff has to offer. So first off, let's go into the arsenal. This is where you're going to spend most of your time whenever you're in your ship. We have our Warframe and our free weapons. You'll notice that mine are leveled up quite a bit, simply because I've been leveling these to get ahead of time with the videos so I can put them out faster. Unlike this video, it's taken me 4 days to actually get around to making this, so I've leveled up my frames and weapons just a little bit more so I can make the videos a little bit faster. And you'll notice that you actually have an upgrade section, and this is all to do with what level your Warframe is, pretty much. So if we hit that upgrade section with the triangle button or pressing our mouse button, we'll notice that we actually have these mods that we can equip to our Warframes and weapons. And to equip these mods, what you actually have to do is level up your Warframe, and you'll get this capacity thing up in the top left hand corner. So whenever you level up more, you're going to get more capacity, which allows you to put on more mods onto your Warframe. As well as, if you want to know the pretty much basics of modding, whenever you put on a mod which has the same shape that is in the top right corner on the mod card, and you put it on to the slot on your Warframe that has the same shape, it's actually going to half the cost of that mod card. So say we go over to a mod known as Vitality, which increases our base health. It takes up 2 mod capacity, so if we put this on, it'll take up 2, but if I were to match it on the D slot, it'll actually only take 1. So that's pretty much the basics of modding. You match the shape, it takes less, and everything else you just put on and it'll take whatever it says in the drain thing. And if you mismatch, then it'll actually cost more, so don't do that. Never mismatch the shapes in the mod cards, because there's never a time where that's good. So that's pretty much modding in a nutshell, and we're going to be getting some mods that can benefit our Warframe and weapons. We're mainly going to be focusing on the weapons, and the mods that benefit our Warframe is going to be an added bonus. I'm going to be showing you how to actually scan enemies to, show what mods they drop. So if we head out of our arsenal and we go up here, we're going to be in this thing called the codex, and this is where it stores all the information of the game, like how to basically mod, Warframe information, weapon information, things like that there. You can view all the Warframes, you can view all the companions, objects in the game, weapons, things like that there. But we're going to be focusing on the enemies. Now if you open it up, you won't actually see these 3 enemies that I have right here. What we're going to be doing is we're going to be doing a thing called scanning them. What I mean by scanning them is if you head back down to your arsenal, I know we're running back and forth a lot, we're going to go down to our gear, and we're going to be purchasing this thing called the codex scanner. So if you press X, you'll be able to purchase codex scanners for 500 credits. So I recommend just bumping that up to about 20, like the little thing you're allowed to press, or like, I'll show you. You go onto it, press X on a codex scanner, the purchasable thing, and then you can scroll up to 20. It won't let me purchase them right now, it's kind of weird, so yeah, purchase codex scanners, put them in your gear section. I guarantee you whenever you press X or you click on the little thing, you'll be able to purchase codex scanners. So purchase those, and those are going to be used to scan enemies, and I'll explain more of that there whenever we get into the mission known as Apollodorus, which is where we're heading right now. So Apollodorus, once you have actually completed the Vor's Prize quest, you'll land on Mercury, and you'll land on this little mission called Terminus. From Terminus, what you have to do is you have to complete this mission and then head straight to the left until you hit Apollodorus. So you have to complete all these missions, Aelion, Calorus, Lairs, and then you'll hit Apollodorus. And Apollodorus is a survival mission. Now, what I mean by survival mission is you just survive, okay? So the enemies are going to cut off the oxygen in the ship, and your main objective is to survive, alright? So to do this, all you have to do is hit the life support capsules that the Lotus spawns in, or kill the enemies and pick up their little life support capsules that dry drop. So what we do is we make the enemies spawn really quickly. So kind of like the loot cave in Destiny. You make the enemies spawn really frequently, kill them, and then there's a chance that they're going to drop those little life support capsule things for you, so you can survive mainly off those instead of having the life support capsules that the Lotus spawns in. So we're going to get into the game and I'll explain more about it there. So we're in Apollodorus, and what we have to do first is pretty much activate the mission by hacking this console. Look at it here. Do keep in mind that every time you load up a mission in Warframe, it will spawn in or generate a random tile set that you play on, so you may not be on the same map that I am. So pretty much what I want you guys to do is find a place to camp up where the enemies spawn pretty frequently. Obviously, if you're playing on your own, the enemies will spawn less frequently, just because, you know, make it easier for one player to survive, I guess. I would prefer it that it kept the same sort of spawn rate as if you had 4 players, but that's just me. I know I'm more experienced than a lot of people here watching this video. So what we're going to be doing is actually finding a place to camp up. And a thing that I recommend doing if you actually manage to buy the codex scanners is scanning the enemies in here. Each enemy is going to take about 20 scans to get the full codex entry into your codex. So what I want you guys to do is you have to scan 20 enemies of one type. So say I wanted to get the codex entry of the Lancer enemy, which is just pretty much this here guy over here, the Lancer that I just killed. I have to scan 20 different Lancers, alright, to get that codex entry. And then what that's going to do is it's going to tell me all the mod items that he drops and all his weaknesses and things that he's resistant to and all things like that there. So it's just another thing, like an added bonus into the game. You also get XP for doing it as well, I think, so it's definitely worth it, having that knowledge, knowing how to defeat a certain type of enemy really easily, and knowing what they drop. So anytime you come across a new enemy, make sure to scan it, definitely. But other than that there, how to survive in survival. Just find a place where the enemies spawn very frequently. I'm probably just going to hang around here in the middle of the map. But if you're playing with 4 players, I recommend finding a place to camp up, and the enemies will just like run at you in big massive trains where you can kill them very easy. So what I recommend doing is camping up, or like finding a position where you can take cover very easy and bring out your codex scanner and scanning the enemies. So it's going to take 20 scans on like every different type of enemy, but whenever you complete the scans, they're going to actually glow green. You see, I've actually completed the Lancers, if I can find one. I've actually completed the Lancers and the Butchers, so they're glowing green. But anything that you can scan will glow orange. So say those storage containers over there, they will actually go orange for me. So anything that you haven't scanned or you still can scan will glow orange, and that's how you know. So just keep on scanning things. It'll get you XP and it gets you that knowledge, and you'll be able to identify the drops. Now the reason that we're scanning them is because they drop things known as rare mods, and the 2 rare mods that we're looking for out of here is Streamline and Flow. Streamline is dropped from the Lancers and Flow is dropped from the Butchers, and if you don't believe me, go ahead and scan the enemies and then you'll find it out. But to get those mods, all you have to do is completely kill those enemies like a lot of times. So what I recommend is getting 4 players, camping up in a position, making those enemies spawn, and keep on playing the mission until they drop that mod. So it's based on RNG, random number generator. I'm sure any of you guys who play this game would know what that is. Basically, you kill an enemy, it randomly generates a number on what he drops, or say you complete a mission, randomly generates a number on what you get. So that leads me into what you actually get from doing survival missions. And how the survival mission reward system actually works is it goes in like a rotation, okay? So we have A, B, C, and if you don't know what I mean by that there is every 5 minutes you're going to get a reward from a type of sort of loot table or a loot drop table, and it's called A, B, C. So every 5 minutes, so the first 5 minutes you're going to get a drop from the rotation A, 10 minutes you're going to get a drop from rotation A, 15 minutes you're going to get a drop from rotation B, and 20 minutes you're going to get a drop from rotation C. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to survive 20 minutes in the survival and see what we get at 20-minute mark. But the 2 mods that we're going for in this mission are known as Hornet Strike and Serration. Streamline and Flow are an added bonus. You can get them anywhere of these types of enemies. but I would definitely try to get those mods. But Surration and Hornet Strikes are the two main mod that we're after, simply because they allow us to do more damage with our weapons, as well as any defensive mods that we might actually have. So, 20 minutes will give you the chance to get Hornet Strike or Surration. So I'm going to survive 20 minutes in this survival, and if not, I'll go get footage of either of the two mods dropping at 20 minutes to show you guys. So the mod I actually got was not Hornet Strike or Surration, but it was a mod called Reflex Coil. But because I am the best YouTuber ever, I went and got you guys some footage of Hornet Strike actually dropping. So that's pretty much that. Now we're going to head over to the codex, and I'm going to show you guys where you can check to see what mods drop off which enemy. So now that we've played Apollodorus and scanned some enemies, if you scan them all 20 times, you can go into your codex, head over to the enemies tab, and press X. If you scan them all, you should have a little green leaf type of thing up in the top right of their little profile icon. That shows you that they are fully scanned. And if you press X on them or click on them, it'll actually take a little while to load, and then it'll show you what they're weak to and all the drops that they have. Also telling you where they can actually spawn in on the different planets. And after that's done, I'm going to go down now and explain why we're going in to get Surration and Hornet Strike in the first place. Because if you go back in your modding section and look at your mods, you'll actually already have Surration and Hornet Strike, if I can find it. So you actually have Surration, but the thing is, it's actually damage. So it'll say Surration and damage, it'll give you plus 10%. Now right now, this Surration is in a state known as unranked, and so is this Surration up here. This is the Surration that I got really early on whenever I was playing in Apollodorus. I wasn't recording, so I have a Surration on me. And you can see the difference between the two. They are both unranked Surations, but this one is damaged, so it gives you less bonus. And if you look at the little dots at the bottom, you see the non-damaged Surration actually has more dots, which means it can be ranked up a lot more. This also increases the drain. And to rank up a mod, what you do is you press X on it, or click on it, head to Fusion, and then put a bunch of mods that you don't use, or fusion cores, inside to rank it up. So for example, this will also take credits. If you look, it'll say apply fusion for 3000. I'm not going to do that right now, but what you can do is, if you don't have any fusion cores, you can go over to duplicates, and then sort by duplicates, and then use all those mods that you really don't need, if you have spares. So that's pretty much the basis of what we're going to be doing. So to sum up, what we learned in this video is, go to Apollodorus to level your weapons, try to play with 3 other players and camp up so the enemies spawn really frequently, make sure to scan your enemies for extra XP and information on the enemies, and stay for 20 minutes each time you play Apollodorus for a chance to get the Surration mod and Hornet Strike mod. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please hit that like button below, and don't forget to go ahead and check out the next episode after you completed everything in this episode. I'll see you guys in my next video.